And I have some seasoned journalists here to join in the conversation. I have Chukwemeka Modelim, he's here to join us, and I have Emma Elekwa of the Nation newspapers. He's a seasoned journalist, and we are privileged to have him here this morning. You are welcome. And of course, Comrade Prince Emeka Carlo, the Magic Finger. You're welcome.
You. Good.
Then I still remain your host, Judy Jeff Mwabeze, JJ for short. You're welcome. Join us as we roll.
As part of efforts to inform, educate, and entertain you better, ABS proudly presents Journalists Lounge, a dynamic news and current affairs program. Each week, we delve into pressing global topics including politics, the economy, health, education, security, agriculture, and much more. Tune in to ABS 88.5 FM every Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. and be part of the conversation.
You're welcome. Now, the trending issues. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control on Monday, 9th February, I think, 2025, commenced its enforcement at the popular Obogo Bridgehead Market, Onitsha, Anambra State. During the exercise, the operatives of the agency, led by the Director, NAFDAC Southeast Zone, Dr. Martins, confiscated a wide range of adulterated products, substandard products, and expired drugs found at the various shops at Owogo Market. According to the director, the move was to eradicate banned and fake products from circulating in Nigeria and to prevent members of unsuspecting Nigerians from falling victims. Yes, a very good move. And I learned the thing was, the shutdown was going on simultaneously in the Southeast Zone. But now, that was about 2 weeks or almost 3 weeks ago. And up till now, the Obogo market has not been reopened. And a lot of people are concerned about that. Now we equally learned that some members of the Obogo market have started pressing charges against NAFDAC that filed a suit, charging them of infringing on their fundamental human rights, arguing that not everybody, not all the traders at Obogo market are dealing on fake drugs. Now, Prince Emeka, what do you think about this? Yes, what NAFDAC is doing is very commendable, but what do you think is now being prolonged? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think whatever action NAFDAC is taking is geared towards forming, serving as a deterrent to erring members, people, murderers, to commercial murderers. Because anything above 70% or 75% cannot be faulted by the law of generalization. If something has got to that level in percentage, you can't say that if it's generalized that it's wrong. How long will the drug market Obogo, how long will they on their own fish out those people who are killing their fellow brothers and sisters? If it doesn't affect you today, tomorrow it will. Now, if you have cleaned up your environment yourself, maybe the agencies saddled with the responsibility of enforcing cleanliness will not do anything to you. They will come and commend you rather. People, this is why we have organizations. This is why we have groups, associations. They are all pressure groups in every establishment. So if you are regulating what's happening in your environment, there will not be external regulators that will come in. Most people most organizations, most areas, they're on their own. They form leadership that will collect maybe utility bills, and they'll pay direct to those agencies. They won't even enter there. Sanitation bills, they will collect, they will pay, they won't enter. Now, what have you people done, the organization, the association, saddle responsibility of leading these people? How have you fished out the bad eggs amongst you?
Yes.
So if you don't do it and you leave it, look at how Dora Akunyele died. Look at the effort she made during her time when she headed this agency. And here she came and closed down this same market.
Oh, yeah.
She came and found out what these people are bringing to today. I have a friend who doesn't take any capsule or any drug without testing it first. If he brings a capsule, he opens it, pours it into his mouth to know whether it's a drug or cereal. That they just put
powdered milk.
in there. Yeah, cereal. Yeah, they can just put a cereal in there, and you will think it's drug. They can bring whatever milk, whatever powder, and put in there. So they bring something, chalk and others, cover it. You test it, it's nothing, no drug. So why are we doing this to ourselves? All because we want to make money. So I do not think suing them for 100 million, though they are about to, NAFDAC is about to reopen their market.
Yeah.
But I think what they have done should serve as a deterrent. Those people should be sincere to themselves. Don't place money if the government is going after Okite people, native doctors who encourage get rich quick syndrome.
Yeah.
They should also look into these people. They should also look into the Obogu people.
Because all of them constitute this ritual. It's
ritual killing.
Ritual killing.
When you terminate people's lives untimely, because somebody feels ill, drugs are recommended by the doctor. He goes or she goes to buy it, and what he or she buys is poison. So what are you doing? I think so. They should also look into those and find out those that are doing it and be treated the same way these Okite people are being treated.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. Yes, Comrade Ima Elekwa. Yeah. Do you have a contrary opinion?
Slightly a contrary opinion. I must commend the last speaker, my colleague, who just hit the nail at the head. But you also look at it from another angle. I give you a scenario. As a student of University of Calabar, I remember those days. There's no semester that doesn't, experience riots by students. For any semester that there's no riots, you go for Thanksgiving because it's always a recurring incident. And once there is a riot, you can guess that there must be damages. And the school will be shut down. Next, time we are reopening, they will ask every student to pay for the damages. I discovered later that even those who did not damage anything in the previous riot will damage this time around because to justify the payment. So if you look at it from that angle, if I appreciate what the last speaker said, in this scenario, how do you also, because he talked about trade union, doing their work by trying to sanitize it. I don't know the trade union that will do this one for the students as it were, because for them to be able to, they must be students in the first instance, and you have some of these called boys who are more or less non-academic students, I call them. They don't have registration number. They just move into the university and they are costume users. So anytime there is this kind of thing, the innocent ones pay. I also give you another scenario. As a student, a secondary school student, names of noise makers, monitors are asked to write, or prefects. Sometimes they don't write. What if the teacher comes? You say, mount on your lockers, including those of us who did not make noise.
Are you sure you were not making noise then?
I don't know about that. But the truth of the matter is that these things need also to be looked into. I pity the few that this thing affected. In a very, if I put myself in their shoes, maybe they could have left that market if they they have alternative. But the way it is, it's possible that they don't have option than to stay with them. And it's also possible that the trade unions must have also done one or two things to check these fake drug, and they couldn't. So it's good to, close the market, but I think it's dragging. If you give it like 1 week or thereabouts, I think it can also serve. But I also say, those of them that are doing into this thing, they should not allow themselves. They shouldn't be a case that will affect others. They should stop this nonsense, because life is involved. There is no how.
There's no reversal. Once it kills.
Once somebody dies, it
has died.
That's my take on that.
It's all right.
Yes, I must commend NAFDAC, National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, for its commitment to ridding our beloved country of fake drugs. The new Nigeria all of us desire will come this way. We must all rise against illegality. We shouldn't condone illegality. The issue of fake drugs being sold at Onitsha, Bridgehead Market on Onitsha, did not start today. Just like Comrade Emeka Kalu said, in 2007, when late Professor Dora Akonyele was the Director General of NAFDAC, that market was shut down by the agency because of this issue. Many drugs then were set ablaze in Onitsha. I covered it. And these people were, complaining that not all of them deal in, counterfeit drugs. But those that do that, why didn't you report them
before
to NAFDAC? Igbo na-asị na ofu aka lụta mmanụ ozuọra. Ọ bụrụ na ife ọjọọ na-eme ebe ị nọ ịgba nkịtị, mgbe ọ ga-esu, it will affect you. So that was the greatest undoing of the genuine ones. Those who deal in good drugs were supposed to, report those that are portraying their name in bad light to NAFDAC, but they did not do that. I sympathize with them.
Yes.
I feel their pulse because I know that they are going through a lot now.
Have you closed your shop for upwards of 2 weeks?
Almost 2 weeks. You wonder how they've been surviving. Okay, so NAFDAC is doing this, okay, to let them know that they are not joking about the fight against fake drugs. Many have died of these fake drugs. Many are in hospitals as a result of the fake drug they consumed. Why are you killing your brothers and sisters because you want to, make money overnight? You want to join, the rich in the society. Nobody is against you being rich. Everybody desires riches.
Yeah.
Okay? You are a murderer. That is ill-gotten wealth. We don't support that.
Directly or indirectly?
Directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
That is ill-gotten wealth. We, the members of the fourth estate of the realm, the watchdog of the society, will always speak against you because you are dealing with the society. You are killing souls. So NAFDAC, what I want to tell NAFDAC at this point is that they should find a way, okay, to deal with those that deal in fake drugs. Yes, okay, because not everybody in that market is a fake drug dealer. We know that. Everybody affects. And many of them are complaining that they took them unawares, that they left millions of their money in their shops, okay, and they don't know, what has happened to their cash. And they keep saying that security operatives break their shops. They don't know whether they have carted away, millions they left in their shops. What we are saying is that you didn't do what you are supposed to do at the right time. And these are the consequences that come from such, closure. So all of us must always rise against illegality. That is what I'm saying. So NAFDAC is doing their best, okay, to rid Nigeria of fake and counterfeit drugs, we must support them. Yes. Go to the street, ABB, you find that there is a chemist who sells fake drugs. You have to report the person to the appropriate authority because that person is killing souls. You could even, fall a victim. Yes. Okay, when you walk around, it will just damage your kidney, your organs. You end up being a dead person. So all of us must rise against illegality. Don't keep quiet because you could be a victim. It could affect you tomorrow.
Okay.
That is just that.
Right. Thank you.
You know, they always say, this current administration always say, if you see something, say something, do something.
Do something.
You get the point. Now, how would somebody, I initially started by saying that anything that is beyond 70%, you can't, that law of generalization can be faulted.
Yes.
Because you can generalize.
Yes.
Like how you talked about when you were in school, people who do this and make noise and they'll write, and people who do some other things, those that didn't do will not start. That's why you have class monitors. That's why you have teachers who are student affairs, that in charge of student affairs, dean student affairs. And then you have the student union government. They are pressure groups indirectly, as you have them, as their leaders. I'll give you an instance. In the southeast, by Easter of last year, I was in the UK. I was in Nottingham Forest, in the Nottingham Forest University. I saw the head of VC of Michael Okpara University. Okay. Iwe, some professor Iwe. He was there.
Former.
He was there. I saw him. When he discovered I was National Vice President of Radio Television Ratawi, he told me he was having issues with Vision Africa in Omai, that he needs my assistance. He will want me when we go back to Nigeria to intervene. I said, what's that? He said that students, either there was something, students went and destroyed school facilities. So the school management put 25,000 naira
preparation fee or something
levy on every student. So people were just like agitating those that didn't join in the destruction. So it brings us to this point I am saying. Do you know why today most couples stay? They don't get fertile. Infertility is order of the day. At their youths or whatever, you may have headache and go to buy drugs. The drug they will give you contain some damaging substances that could go to your organs straight and damage the organs. Yes. So when a woman gets married, she turns barren. You would think maybe she was a flirt, she did this, she destroyed her organ herself. So these things are killing us. Today, virtually everybody has eye problem. Now, maybe something, you felt a pain in your eye or whatever, you went to buy eye drop. What's in there will damage your eyes the more. Okay. How do we stop this?
It's all right.
So those people that are agitating now as leaders of that drug market should be say, it will affect you. Tell them this is this person.
Yes.
This person does this. We know him. We know him. As he has special equipment with which he manufactures fake drug. He copies drugs. He goes to China and does copying of all the drugs. And in China, they have grades 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10.
Yeah.
Anyone you want, pay for it. They'll give it to you.
You're very correct. But I know some of these people that have filed this lawsuit. They know these people, but at times people are afraid to speak out, because
then you bear the brunt.
They'll feel if they report this person and the person gets to know that he was the person that reported, they'll come after him. He said, because what is
whistleblowing?
You shouldn't keep quiet about something that
yes, we should not keep quiet, but then there has to be a way around it. You understand? But I thank God that our governor, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Sukuma Saludo. He is doing something. He is making everything possible to make sure that the Obogo Bridgehead Market is reopened in the interest of the people.
You know, it wasn't only that of Anambra that was
South
closed. Even that of
Anambra
to reopen yesterday also.
Even the Director General of NAFDAC, Manchola, has assured that the market will be
that very soon. Yes, they'll be done with the cleansing. You know. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Now, let's follow what's trending. Something big is trending, and that has to do with the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Udwara. The senator on Tuesday filed a 100 billion naira defamation suit against Senate President Senator Goswell Akpabio. The lawsuit follows last week's controversy over seating arrangements in the Senate, leading to Senator Natasha facing disciplinary review by the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition. In the suit filed, Senator Natasha alleged that Senator Akpabio, the Senate President, and his legislative aide, Mr. Patrick Umfon, made defamatory comments against her. Patrick Umfon allegedly said that Senator Natasha does not know anything about legislative rules and proceedings. She thinks, according to him, he said, she thinks being a legislator or a lawmaker is all about pancaking her face and wearing transparent attires to Senate chambers. Man, this is something else. How do we look at this? How do we see this? There's both the remarks, both everything. But that, okay, let's just hear from you.
If I'm a judge or a magistrate, well, in any form of arbitration I heard, and you bring up rape matter, rape case, you must go and bring what you wore that day for me to see. What you wore that day. You see, some people will just get half nude, be barely nude. They can dress senses. Most people come to offices bare naked almost. Most people go to churches bare naked. This manner of regalia attire are meant specifically for nightclubs at night.
Yeah.
That's where they are tolerated. In your office, you get corporates. You dress corporately, decently dressed. So indecent dressing, most of the times, lured men into nefarious activities and actions, like assaults. You know, the way you dress, the way you can't come to a man and be jotting your boots like this and others. I've gone somewhere where they wanted to make me up and for a TV presentation, and the makeup babe was, left her boots on my chest and was jotting it on me and making me up. What picture does it paint? So what we need to find out, the judge will need to find out, does Natasha dress half naked to the Senate chambers?
Does she wear transparent things?
That's what I'm saying. Does she wear seductive dresses because one salacious nature can challenge the manhood. It's possible. The salacity of your apparel can be challenging. That's one. Now, away from that comment, does she know the Senate rule? These are to be established. I love it that it's in court, because judges or courts they determine on evidence before them and what they have got. Then again, the conduct. If the citadel of justice is corrupt, what will happen to the body politic? The conduct. I know that during what was Senate President the one from Kwara? Saraki. When Saraki was Senate President, a similar scenario occurred and played out. you know, law of karma. Karma is a beach. The same thing that Natasha did, Akpabio did to
Saraki.
But an illegality does not correct an illegality. You don't, because that, just like I said when we were discussing the Obuago thing, that those that were not affected, the next time we say let them now do. No, you do it. Yeah. You face the law. Yeah. What does the Senate rule say? That any member of any senator will speak from the seat allotted to him or her by the Senate President, provided those seats are temporarily, regularly, or at will being changed. These are provisions. They empower the Senate President with the responsibility of, in fact, prerogative of allocating seats to senators. And he has the right to change it intermittently. That's what the Constitution says. That's what the guideline says. So if this senator, then again, if this senator, Natasha, was given a position that impeded her visibility, that could not allow her contribute, there are decent ways she could present them. She could make her observation. I watched the thing. It does not speak well of a mother. It does, you know, the way she did conduct herself, it was like she already had a bottled up animosity against the Senate President, because it was the chief whip,
Senator Mongun.
Yes, that read out this and made the observation that she didn't go to her seat, and the Senate, when she was now asked to go to us, or else if you don't do it, that the law said you will not be allowed by the Senate President to make a contribution. So she wanted to make a contribution. The Senate President said no. Go to the seat allocated to you. And immediately she started raining abuses on the man. Is it because she's a woman?
Yes,
because they always keep playing the victim.
Most likely.
Yes, and they will always have their way. But this, I saw some red cap men, senators, going to patronize her. Then they were not courageous enough. They were not courageous enough to tell her. To tell her the truth. I saw them. I was looking at, I spotted about 3 of the red cap Igbo men, or Southeasterners, or Southerners, who wore the red cap. They went the way she was. She looked at herself. Nobody stands before the mirror without her judging herself beautiful or pretty. And because she may be, she appeals to some people, you can't appeal to every man. But first the thing. Yeah. First, the business of the day, what you have come there to do. It's not a beauty pageant area, John. This is, the Senate President said, this club is the most prestigious club in the world. Parliament, Congress, red chambers, National Assembly, as whatever your country, Americans is the Congress, in Britain is the Parliament, and Nigeria is the National Assembly. So, and the red chamber for that matter.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for that
contribution. What we should teach the children?
Oh, yes. But you said when you were talking that 2 wrongs do not make a right. Okay, in as much as she faltered, she didn't do the right thing, she didn't do what she was told to do, but I don't think that would have been good enough for that the president, Senator Akpabio's aide to make such disparaging and degrading statement about her. As I'm throwing the gender card here. Yes, I'm throwing the gender card here. I mean, what does pancake or pancaking her face have to do with lawmaking?
Akpabio handled it maturely. You know, when people wanted to rise up, Akpabio said, let's leave this. He even apologized to everybody injured.
He said that is what normally happens when people come in midstream.
Yes,
people that are coming through the court.
You see,
that she lacks orientation.
That will be referred to a committee handled at the appropriate time, which was fine. Now, was she not pancaking her face?
She's not the only person pancaking her face there.
She's the one who has been shown on really behavior.
Then if she doesn't pancake her face and come, I mean, yes.
No, I am just
she's not the only person pancaking herself there. And if she
others have conducted themselves in oddly fashion.
If she comes there without pancake, looking haggard, then people will still pick on her that a whole lawmaker cannot dress very well. In as much as I'm not wearing those. Pancake or buru
no, the pancake. Why would she take offense if she does pancake herself? So why would she take offense? That was an inconsequential and significant contribution.
Okay, right, yeah.
Okay. This is interesting discussion. Actually, I think I'm looking at it from the gender, disposition, because I'm looking at if you were to be a man that Babio says should go to the other seat, will it play out this way? I said this because several times, just like Comrade Emeka said, women will always want to be the victim. As a student of political science, one of my lecturers, when we were talking about women empowerment, women liberalization, because I asked, who imprisoned them in the first place? Because you have to be in prison before you start talking about liberating yourself. Sometimes, like when I drive, I'm on the traffic. Maybe I'm in a hurry. I want to shunt because I have emergency. I have passed a man, he didn't complain. I'm about passing a woman. I said, is it because I'm a woman? Is that, no, you don't pass. I said, Madam, I passed a man before you, and the man didn't complain. So, you keep seeing some of these things play out because they always want to see themselves being marginalized. I think that's
with emotional blackmail.
Yes, that's where I'm. I also share with somebody because of before we came in here. I'm an Anglican, and the seat of the People's Warden, if you know our, is at the back of every church. The reason is obvious. He's a people's warden. He needed to also watch over the people. But, at some point, men have always had this office. So this particular year, a woman was elected. This woman relocated that seat from the back to, close to the chorister seat. People were asking her, Madam, why are you? This is not our culture. He said, no, that seat is for those who committed offense. Once you commit offense, they give you back seat. And she didn't commit any offense. It became a matter. All these men that were sitting there, they didn't commit offense. So she relocated that seat. So I see this from that angle, that this senator, female senator, was just trying to play out her, gender issues. And if she understands very well, because if she has quietly and politely taken that seat, maybe later, maybe before command, as they always say, you can easily explain to the Senate President, just like Comrade Emeka said, maybe I'm not seeing some of these things clearly. Can I relocate? But I think the approach was wrong, if you ask me. That she's now looking at it that she's being looked down on because she's a woman.
It's okay, right? Emeka?
Yes. This issue has been on since it happened at the chambers of the Senate, the National Assembly,
chambers,
the Red Chambers. One thing about our politics, especially the National Assembly politics, is that there is always this, code war between the ruling party and the opposition, parties. The ruling party, I'm talking from experience as somebody who has worked in the Anambra State House of Assembly. Ruling party does not want opposition to operate because they always see them as rivals. That these people don't want us, to excel in this business. They are here to spoil our business. And we will never give them the chance to be heard. Whatever they want to say, we will silence them. Nobody will hear that. And in fact, anything they say will end here. The public will not know about it. And Natasha, being a senator that won election with the People's Democratic Party, okay, felt that she was being, oppressed.
Choked.
Yes. Intimidated by the leadership of the Senate. That was why she sounded that way. However, if she is very conversant with the standing rules of the House, she wouldn't have, reacted that way. Some of these, our lawmakers, when retreat is being organized for them, especially the first timers, they will not be there. They will not attend it.
Definitely. This one wasn't there because she came in midway.
Why did you contest this election in the first place?
When you are not prepared.
When you are not prepared. When you are not prepared. You will be shocked to hear that even in this during plenary in Anambra State Assembly here, a lawmaker will be doing something that is illegal, and the lawmaker will tell him, what you are doing is not constitutional. He is doing that because he doesn't know it. A lawmaker who has stayed in the House for 2-3 years. So this kind of people are not supposed to represent us. People who don't know the proceedings,
the ground rules,
the rules of the legislature have no business there. They shouldn't represent us. So what I'm saying is that Nigerians should be mindful of people they send to represent them at the National Assembly. You should send those who know the nitty-gritty of legislative business. Natasha should supposed to know that the Senate President is there in the standing rule of the House. It is his prerogative to assign seats to senators. And give up when you see from opposition. You're just like what you said. You should know that it's political. You have to approach it with. You have to be polite about it. After the plenary, you meet the Senate President. My dear Senator, please give me a better place. It's not something that should call for altercation between you and your boss, because the man can silence you forever.
Yes.
You say you should talk, you talk. I'm not afraid of you. I don't care.
No.
If I'm silenced, you'll be silenced.
He's the president.
When you are silenced, your constituency have lost. Yes, they have lost entirely because they will not. All the goodies that come from the Senate to all the constituencies in this country will not come to your constituency, and they will at the time they will pass a vote of no confidence on you
and recall you.
You have lost. So when you say Bonisi, no matter what, if you are not talk to him with respect. Talk to him with respect. You are not even a member of the ruling party, and you are just talking that way. This is political. All politics can name it. So
this is
it's not just them that victimizing.
No.
Senator Ifeanyi died.
Yeah.
The seat is vacant.
Yeah.
2 other or 3 other senators from the ruling party. That some other people cross-carpeted from that same PDP and other parties. So once such happened,
there will be a rearrangement of seats.
Thank you. There are demarcations of A and B. Left and right.
Yeah.
So when people from here go over there, they rearrange. When people from here go over here, they rearrange. When there's a vacancy here, they bring people and fill in. So it's already there. The women, like Judy was saying, was talking about pancake and calling her out and all those. You will see a Senate President pass somewhere like you just said. You won't notice he passed. If the wife of the Senate President is passing, a commission of police will just pass. You will not know CP passed here. You will see a woman holding a big man or a responsible man by the neck, even tearing the dress. You ask who's there, I say, nah, commissioner wife. Before I got married, opposite the Mr. Biggs, when that was the trending eatery then, I was passing one day. I saw a girl slapping a police officer for stopping her. She was driving. A young girl, a single girl, she was driving. So they were doing stop and check. The police officer stopped her. And see how she was slapping the police officer for disturbing her. So as I was driving past, maybe I had a marked vehicle. So maybe she saw the number, the name tag, and stopped and shouted at him and waved him down. So we holding the police man with one hand and waving me down with the other one. So I parked. Lo and behold, it was my girlfriend then. I was single. I stopped. No, I'm also. You know, I stopped. And within me, I was considering how in the lineup, I was considering she was among the contestants then. So, when I stopped, lo and behold,
never change.
I was the one that at the end she would call me.
Okay.
And she was slapping a police officer.
Can you imagine?
Hi. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it.
And maybe that was what disqualified you.
Thank you. Okay. So when I stopped,
from the contest.
When I stopped, I asked her to enter her vehicle. She entered her vehicle. I asked the police officer, please take her to the station, to CPS. Let's go to CPS. We went there. I said, we must see the DPO so that I will apologize to the DPO and do whatever needed to be done to pacify the police officer. Okay. And from there, I stopped speaking her because that was the end of that
disqualification.
Yeah.
Because men should stand up. That's why I was against those men with red cap going to her to pacify her. Tell her she's wrong. Okay. Tell her she's wrong.
Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that contribution. Yes, some of these things and some of our lawmakers, we've heard it. Women, we should stop.
Talk to them.
Yes, we should stop playing the gender card all the time, you know. We should stand up and do the needful, not always trying to bring up some emotional blackmail just because you're a woman, you know. So we want everybody to be pitying you. No, it's not acceptable. You do the right thing. It is very necessary. Now, a quick one here because we're gradually running behind schedule, out of time. DSTV recently announced another price hike for its subscription, and the hike is coming less than a year after the last hike by MultiChoice. This is a very disturbing development considering that we've heard about two other hikes recently, the telecoms hike and ATM hike. It's like we are in the era of hikes. So what do we do? How do we look at this? Man, it's choking. It is choking. What do we do?
People believe in short-term projects. They don't look beyond time to see what's beneath it. Once there is what is it called? Wage regime. Okay. Review of wage regime. Any new wage regime will bring, it's a pregnancy. So what it will give birth to is what you're seeing.
Hikes everywhere.
Yes. So that is why I keep insisting. Each time there is going to be a wage review, let the labor insist, the organized labor should insist on 100% review. Whatever they're agitating for, they should stick to it. Because if they stood by maybe 250, whatever, government will say it's inflation. It will cause inflation. But at the end, check what legislators take home.
Even Senator Natasha.
Yes. Check what they take home. Then they will give somebody 70,000 naira as minimum wage. And
take it back from hikes.
They will applaud. As they are mentioning it, even during negotiation, the market woman has added his own. Rice producer has added. Everybody. Yes. Everything will change. Your wife will, if you're giving your wife 50,000 naira, she will know that it will not be 100 or 70
yes.
or 80. So everything will change. So is it MultiChoice that you will be left alone? So electricity has changed. Everything it keeps changing. Even hello, hi. It has doubled.
Yes.
So, Lekwa will tell you. Because as he's laughing, means he has experienced it.
Okay.
So I don't blame them, but there should always be negotiation. I think the people that caused this problem are the people that invented the Aluta Continua Victoria Aseta mantra. How would you want to settle and be victorious and relax and get what you want when you insist, when your anthem, is that Aluta continue, that the struggle must continue. When will the struggle end? Till victory. When will the victory? Yes. So every day there is struggle. The struggle continues. When we sing this solidarity song, when we get to that, there is victory. Aluta, I don't even respond. You don't join. How will Aluta struggle continue? It continues. That's why it's been like that since ever. They should nail it down.
Can I? So yeah. Does it mean you said there should be negotiations now, or there should have been negotiations before?
I said it the other time. What they do, they place the cart before the horse. Yeah. That's what all these people, because they've learned it from government that you go and I said it, go and build castle in the air and put foundation beneath it. That's what they do. Put it that at the end we'll get it. We get it resolved.
Okay, right.
There's another angle to this, actually. Yeah, I appreciate that DSTV, GoTV, and the rest need to also work with, the trend in terms of the economic issues we have seen. But at the same time, do they also consider that light power is key to
that is another thing, because some people are advocating that there should be this provision for pay as you go.
That's where I'm going. Because any time, my GoTV, I don't know when last time, I just subscribed there because my kids are on midterm break and they needed to watch. Because for me, I don't think I will subscribe. So when they call me and say, "Okay, we've not seen you, you've not recharged for," I say, "Please, can you allow me to?" In fact, the frequency of their call makes me to know that they need us more than we need them. Yeah. They are losing customers.
Seriously.
When you don't recharge for a while.
Are you getting it now? Because MTN, for example, I don't know how many times they call for you to buy there. But these ones keep calling. And I quickly tell them, the lady that called, I say, "Can you people start this pay as you watch or whatever? That once you do it, I will leave my subscription permanently, as in, I don't even know, you'll be collecting it as the time as it expires." Why? Because I just recharged, like I said. And then for 2 days, we didn't have light. And I'm looking at the television, I'm looking at my money going. I said, and you can't buy fuel, the cost now. I have generator, but I don't have fuel. And my children say, "Daddy, now." I said, this is not just, it's wickedness. If you must factor in some of these things, we are not yet developed to the point that if the light is steady, then even if you say we'll pay whatever, persons will want to pay.
It's monthly.
Ordinarily. You get the point. So I think we must look at some of these issues holistically, so that when people are hiking any of these things, they will look at it that if we hike, how many people will? In fact, there's something that my kids came up with lately. I didn't know. I just saw they were watching a cartoon without subscription. I said, no. I didn't know that these kids have already copied all the cartoon networks that are interested in a flash. I came in that day, I saw it, I said, oh, there's even an option. Maybe these PSTV people don't even know about this arrangement. Because if they do, they won't be doing this out there. They will lose so many of us.
Okay.
That's it.
Right, thank you very much. Maybe because of time, let's now go to sports. And just recently, we had a news that the Nigerian football community is in mourning following the tragic death of former Wiki Tourist forward Abubakar Lawal, who died in Uganda. The 29-year-old who played for Uganda's Vipers SA reportedly fell from the third floor of a shopping arcade. But by the time they got to the hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival. And we equally learned that Ugandan government, they are probing the death of this young man. Then, there's Chukwemeka Modelim as a sports novel. What do you think about this? Could there be more to it? And then he went to visit his Tanzania friend, and there the thing happened.
Let me start by sending my condolences to the family of the late footballer, Abubakar, and the Nigerian football community. It's a big loss to Nigeria. He was a good player, a fine striker. It's unfortunate that he died this way. Why you ask that question? Could there be more to this? You know, there are conflicting reports about his death. One said that he died by a motorcycle accident. And the one, you know, everybody seems to believe is the one you mentioned here, that he fell from the top floor of a 3-story building, you know, and he was rushed to the hospital by the police and was confirmed dead on arrival. So now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, okay, is doing a thorough investigation about the death of Abubakar. They even said that they will conduct autopsy. Yes, on him to ascertain the cause of his death. That is the way to go about this. I asked myself this question: why did he fall from three-story building? Why did he fall from the top floor of the 3-story building? Did he just fell like that? Was there no push? Somebody must have pushed him. Somebody must have, something transpired, okay, between him and somebody that resulted in that incident. So by the time the federal government, you know, concludes their own investigation about the death of Abubakar, the whole world will know, you know, what actually killed him. I sympathize with him. This is one footballer that was so pathetic about football.
Passionate.
Very passionate about football. In 2015, when he didn't make the under-20 team, you know, the Nigerian under-20 team that went for FIFA tournament, he didn't lose faith. He kept saying that he knows that by the time the next tournament comes up, he would make it. Okay, so he was somebody that loved what he did, what he did as a footballer. So I sympathize with his family. I sympathize with Nigerians over this. Right. And I also call on the Uganda government, okay, to do the needful. They should go the extra mile to unravel the circumstances surrounding his death.
Thank you very much. Prince, can we hear from you?
I have a more about my mind. Because when you start looking at it, probing what happened and all this, my own thinking is that either he went to visit the friend and saw that the girlfriend was with another guy, and they were struggling, and the guy pushed him out from them. So if not, what would have made him fall? You
remember one of our staff fell like that and died some years, Ebola, of the blessed memory, fell like that from Ebuna.
So because he was one of our staff,
anybody could have fallen.
Does it mean nobody pushed him?
Anybody could have fallen from that height.
Did he fall?
But you remember, nobody saw Ebuna fall from the building. We were told he fell from that building.
See him fall?
So nobody saw him fall.
Because
it's only you to cause that we know that fell from this thing.
Was he running from somebody? Another person pushed him.
Okay, right.
Well, this thing, you people, this gender,
but was there a place as a no girlfriend?
Why would they say it? In the Bible, did they say what Eve and Adam did? Is it not Umpuloisi?
It's there in the report. That's like you said. You went to visit his
friend.
A friend.
They didn't say girlfriend.
They didn't say girlfriend.
They said a friend.
Did they say man or girl?
It's what they call interpretive journalism.
Find the silence now. That word.
Thank you. So does it mean it didn't exist? When the constitution is silent on something, it's neither here nor there.
It's
Both
okay.
of them go.
It's okay.
Both of them they carried.
Okay, right.
So he just fell. He just went to see a friend and fell.
Okay, friends. On that note, we end today's edition and this week's edition of our News and Current Affairs program, Journalist Lounge. Please do join us next week, for another interesting edition. I remain your host, Judy Jeff Nwabaze, JJ for short. Bye for now.